So I'd like to premise this by saying there's absolutely nothing wrong with Peacemaker. He's perfect. At least when it comes to like his expression of character, I think he's one of the best, if not the best character that we've gotten so far. And it was right that they did that, but I still don't think that that's going to be what saves Mortal Kombat, and they definitely need something to save them right now. So that begs the question then, what will kill Mortal Kombat? And I think it's the elephant that's been in the room, the thing that we've all been talking about since day one. Nothing has really changed with this patch, right? Peacemaker is pretty cool. He's dope. He'll bring people into the game. So will crossplay, right? Like we all know that that's the case, and that's perfectly fine. But they don't do anything for player retention. Neither one of them do. And I think that the problem, as I said, has been as it has been from the beginning, and that's that the game doesn't really. It's not fun, right? The game doesn't feel fun, and what I mean by fun is like the game doesn't feel yours. There's no real player expression, right? And that comes in two different ways. One of those being how you like the physical expression of the character, the customization, right? We can all tell that the customization is lackluster in comparison to even 11, which we all know 11 wasn't that great of a game, and we complain about 11, but I even find myself now sometimes wanting to go back to 11 just because all of the customizations and all of the different things that you can do, and Spawn having the coolest like intro and outro that you could like possibly find, I think, in any NRS game. And then there are different like aspects of that outro, right? You have different outros that are really cool, and then different parts of Spawn that you can customize and stuff like that. And even though he wasn't the best character in the world, I still do feel like he was mine, or like he was more fun than some of these other characters. With Mortal Kombat 1, the meta feels so strong. Well, I guess this is the other way. With Mortal Kombat 1, the meta feels so strong that you can't really express yourself with the characters in other ways, right? It doesn't feel like, oh, like this is the meta, but you can also play them this way, and it can be pretty strong, and you can do, pretty well, and do, and you can get pretty much to the top still. Like, it doesn't feel that way. Once you get past a certain tier, like, you have to have Striker, you have to have these top tier cameos, because if not, you're just sitting there eating combos one after the other, and then you're trying to wait until the combo meter is down, and hopefully they're not plus, which with Johnny is pretty much impossible. So you're just sitting there like eating these super long combos and all this stuff, and it's like if you don't have the same cameo back, then they don't have to eat the same combo, so you don't have the same type of pressure, and they just beat you every time. And that's pretty much it, because of the way that fighting games work and the way that these cameos work. They pretty much take turns from each other, and you have to have a way to take that turn back, because if your cameo just kind of increases your combo meter or whatever the case is, like you're only going to get so far. And so it becomes this thing where it's like most casual players, we're not trying to be like the best of the best, right? We're not trying to be Sonic Fox and stuff like that, and like we never will be, and that's perfectly fine. As I said, we're not trying to be. Most of us want to get on, we want to try on new skins, show them off to a few people online, hopefully get a few dubs, probably get a few L's, and like rage about it, and that's perfectly fine or whatever. But no one's trying to be the best of the best, and it almost seems like you have to be in order to even participate in this game, just because how strong the meta is, and not only how strong the meta is, but how easy it is to implement, right? Previously, metas would be implemented by like playing footsies correctly and doing things like that correctly, and this isn't it. This is the press of a button, and you have on-screen pressure, right? And it just seems a little bit like unwarranted. I do feel like most of the player base like doesn't necessarily want the cameo system. I could be wrong on that, but I definitely feel like it's maybe too much, maybe ahead of its time, maybe not fully thought out. I'm not definitely sure what's wrong with it or what people don't necessarily like about it, but it feels that way. And I think part of it is that it's just too oppressive. It adds too much to the game to where you're not able to play the game half of the time, because you're just kind of sitting there waiting for the other person to finish pressing all of their many different options and cameo buttons and all these other things that they have and stuff like that. And I think in any video game, when you take the control away from the player for an extended amount of time, and in this case, like, you may think, oh, it's only a few seconds, but each match is only like a minute long, so a few seconds is a large percentage of that minute, and you don't want a large percentage of your gameplay to be taken away with just blocking. But I don't think that's the only thing, right? We look at games like Tekken 8, and we can't say that it's just Tekken 8, right? We can't say that it's just Street Fighter 6. These are the reasons that Mortal Kombat is not going to do well, because these games have always been out. They've always been out next to each other, and there's always been a new one around the same time the other ones have been. But we didn't say that about like MK11. We didn't say that about MKX, right? So that those are just kind of excuses, I think, because yeah, the previous renditions of like Street Fighter and Tekken maybe weren't as good as these ones, but neither was MK11. So we can't really say that that was the whole reason for this. Even though I'd really love to say that that's it and just kind of chalk it up to those two games being great. But it kind of also is the reason, right? So we have this, but we also have what we could have had with this. We have no crypt in this game, right? We have the invasion system, which is, let's be honest, it's ass, and they keep adding to it, which kind of makes it incrementally better each time they add to it, but it's not enough to be like, oh yeah, this is cool. It's ass. And there's no crypt system, there's no earning system, and the reason for that we've seen early on was because they're trying to gouge us for every cent they can with these ridiculous ass skins. The only thing we're lucky that didn't happen was that the package, or the premium pack or whatever it was, is not pay to win, because all of the characters on there weren't OP. They were strong, but they weren't like stronger than Johnny, who's a base character, right? So it's like you weren't necessarily paying to win, which kind of surprises me. I bet you if they did know the balance of the game and how it would turn out, that they probably would have put the stronger characters behind a paywall. We would have had to pay for Johnny. You know, and $15 or whatever it was for a skin or an execution, when these things used to be available, like I said, in the crypt, is ridiculous. The fact that people are willing to pay for this is ridiculous. And like, it's funny because I said this in my previous video, the fact that they made it so overpriced was not an accident. Of course they're going to make it ridiculously overpriced and then bring it back a little bit. That way you don't even realize that you're not mad about the fact that you're having to pay for something that was free in the last fucking 10 editions of this game. Now you're having to pay for that thing, but you were just mad about the fact that it was expensive, right? You were just mad about the fact that it was overly priced. Oh yeah, I'll pay $2 or $3. Why would you pay anything for something that was free? You're already paying $70 for the base game, plus another $40 for any characters that come out. Why are you paying another $15 for each of the skins? Not to mention all of the downloadable characters that come out only have like 2 or 3 skins. It's fucking ridiculous. And these are the base problems with the game. These are the things that make the game feel not fun. It's not, you know, the fact that Tekken 8 is out. It's not the fact that Street Fighter has a fun HUD, which is, both things are true. Because this could thrive in that same environment. It just doesn't. And the reason for that is its own fault. And NRS has nobody else to blame but themselves for how the future of Mortal Kombat is going to be looking, which is extremely grim right now. Unless they do a complete overhaul from the bottom up, and I mean like completely, and add maybe 2 or 3 other game modes, one of them being a true 1v1 game mode, because that's the only thing I think that could salvage this at the moment, until they kind of fix the cameo system and all the things wrong with that. That's the only way that I see that they're going to be able to make this game make a real comeback and have it be anywhere near as strong as even MK11, which, let's be honest, is really not saying much. So yeah, as much as I like Peacemaker and as much as I like Homelander, there will be, you know, people that will come back for those two people, and they will last maybe a month at the very most, and then it'll drop right back down, and that's just kind of gonna be what it is. And I hope that Kombat Pack 2 has something amazing in store for us, because I just don't see it retaining that many people for a very long time. That being said, as you can see, I am back. For those who follow me, I do always take about a month off each year, so it's not like something crazy that happened. It's just I usually take a month off. I go to Cali, have a little fun. I try to put some like pictures or something on the screen for you guys so you can see my trip. But I'm back. We're gonna have some videos coming up. I have Dead by Daylight that I'm gonna be playing because there's a lot of new stuff that happened there, and it's been a while since I played, and I think it'd be fun to have like a returning to Dead by Daylight type of thing, as well as some For Honor stuff. So if you're fans of those, if you follow me for Honor or anything like that, stay tuned. More of that coming up. When it comes to MK1, will I be playing more? I mean, I'll play some Peacekeeper. I might upload just some like straight up gameplay and not anything like heavily edited like I usually do. But you know, I don't think I'll be doing too much of the, because while it's fun, I think even with the editing, you can only do so much just because you're always going to be seeing sort of the same combos. You kind of seen that problem with like LOL hounds and stuff. A lot of the videos that you make with this game are going to be around the same just because a lot of the characters like they don't do the same thing, but they feel the same, right? It's like you have this punish, you have this move, you have these few moves, and then you have this one cameo that everybody uses. So it's like, you know, there's only so many times you can make a joke out of somebody being blinded by what's his name's cameo or whatever, Striker, right? So it's like until that shit gets old. So yeah, that's kind of the future of the channel. Obviously there will be more things coming up. I'm looking forward to Grand Theft Auto. That's like my biggest thing that I'm looking forward to right now, and trying to get the channel, you know, big for. So hopefully I'll be able to upload more consistently. It's really not like a consistency thing. It's just however long it takes me to edit videos, because I don't want to put trash out there for you guys. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can upload every day, and maybe that'll get me more viewership, but I like putting out a certain type of art. That's the whole reason I wanted to do this, was to put out a certain type of like maybe art or comedy for you guys, and have people who appreciate that follow me type of thing. So stay tuned for those things. Also, we'll be doing some live videos, so if you guys did pop, I know a few of you popped in for that, so you know, next time you pop in, say hi. I'm not gonna bite you or anything. I will be doing some live streams and stuff like that, just to kind of get some videos or some games played that I can't really make videos on. And then I've also been thinking about putting XCOM 2. I know it's like a super old game, but sorry if y'all hear my dogs. Anyways, I know it's a super old game, but there's not been anything like it since, and I miss it. So maybe I'll do some XCOM. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Other than that, if you liked, leave a like, subscribe, do all the things. This has been Yata Gaming. We will see you in the next one. Stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out.
I have no idea where I'm going from here. This life has caused some fear. I'm getting out of here. Space